Yo, people, you telling me back again for another Red Talk Flawless? What's good, my brother?
Yeah, I'm blessed, fam. You all good, yeah?
Yeah. Man's cool. Can't even complain, man. Big up the chat. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, quite a few things to discuss, bro. So yeah,
Yes,
man. Big
yes.
up the chat. Obviously, these Cunha links are
You
they're
know,
gathering pace at the moment,
yeah,
bro.
heating up, yeah, because it was yesterday that it broke, like afternoon, like was when I first initially seen it. And we're saying
Mm,
Manchester United are strongly interested in Cunha. Hey, if we can go get big up to the chat as always, let me still state that as well. You go
hmm
get him. Of course, I've been sold on Cunha. I think he's cold. And if you get him at the right price, definitely. And I think that left side 10 suits him even more than playing as a 10 in a 4-2-3-1, for example. Like, because he's very good, because not only is he very good centrally, he also has like the pace, athleticism, and the skill to like drift out wide if he wants to and isolate a fullback. So I'm with it with Cunha. Been impressed. Every time I watch him, every time. I think he's good. Big fan.
Yeah, man. I just think he just suits the kind of signings we should be making in terms of Premier League proven.
Mm.
Do you know what I'm saying? Premier League proven, you know what you're going to get from him. No adaptation period is going to be necessary. And I think that we need a few of those players. I think if we sign a few of those players that come into the team and we know for sure that they're definitely going to improve us, I think it takes us up the table quite quickly.
Of course, because he brings you mentioned it there, there's less doubt on him. There's not like, oh, how's he going to acclimatize to a new league? How does he acclimatize to a new country, a new culture, etc., etc. So yeah, with Cunha, definitely, because he gives you certified goals and assists. You know he's giving you output, number one, and number two, you know he's a foil for others as well. Because
Mm.
without him, Wolves probably get relegated. That shows the difference maker he is. Take him out of that side. Big up my bro Sheik every single time as well. So that tells you all you need to know with him. And then if you get him and you get another attacker, let's say we do sign a striker, that improves our attack so much. Because Cunha's quality. And there's not
Yeah.
really attackers at Wolves you look at outside of him and go, oh, they're incredible. Like the bulk of the pressure is on him when it comes to that team. And he's done the business. That's why they didn't want to sell him in January, because they know definitely in trouble in regards to relegation without him. So I've been sold on him.
No, 100%. So it'd be interesting, yeah, if United are in for him. And if they are in for him, who else they are in for? Because they're saying 62 million release clause or something like that. And if that's the case, yeah, then is that all the business we're doing in that number 10 position? To be fair, we don't need to do loads of business there anyway, because I think that Kobe Minos, he fits into that 10 position. Obviously, Ahmad can play there, Xerxes can play there.
I like
Um,
it.
I don't like Bruno there, but the manager can use him there. So I don't think we need more than 110.
I'm cool with that in regards to it. You mentioned it there. Cunha would be the marquee guy to go there, but you got Maino who can play there, like you mentioned. Ahmad can play there, needs must, depending on what we do with the right wing back situation.
I think
You
he'll
got
play right wing
Xerxes.
back though.
Yeah, you got Xerxes who can play there as well. I really like Xerxes there, actually. I think his attributes fit. Like, I look at him and I go, I prefer you more as a 10 than I do a 9, to be honest. And so, yeah, definitely in regards to the 10s, it's more so everywhere else, because we know how much this team needs to improve everywhere. That's why when people ask me the question and say, oh, what would you prioritize, this position or this position? No, everywhere. Because if we go get Cunha and a striker, but don't sign 2 central midfielders, we're going to be in trouble. If we sign 2 central midfielders and don't get Cunha and a striker, we're going to be in trouble. Because, all right, the midfield sorted, but the attack's still a problem. All right, the attack sorted, but then the midfield's still a problem. We need 5 or 6 players. I think we all know this, and starters, and Cunha would be a good start. Because, like I said, he adds some much needed, got his outputs there. He's a foil for the team, and some much needed athleticism as well. On the break, he can shift, which is what we need. And these players, like we say it all the time, how much football, especially with the conversation about it being too robotic and it being a system game, and how it's athletes. Go get some athletes. We're the only team in the league, and it's like I look at us and I go, we just lack athletes. Of course, you
Would
want them
you,
to
would
have
you say
technical ability
Cunha?
as
Would
well.
you say Cunha fits into that then?
Yeah, in regards to it, yeah, because he can run past the man. I
Mm.
trust Cunha to do that. Not only can he carry the ball, carry dribble with the ball, off the ball as well. If we transition and then Cunha's in the attack, I trust us to do something. I'm like, all right, you're going to do that. And then if you surround him with more of that. So imagine him on the left with Dorgu overlapping. That's what I'm talking about. Because Dorgu adds much needed that. Does he need to improve in certain areas, Dorgu? Yeah, but I think Dorgu helps Cunha so much because even in that City game, constant. His engine's ridiculous every time. There was a time where Garnacho had the shot. He should have played him the ball and it went out from a corner. But see how much ground Dorgu made up. I was like, damn.
Yeah, he's a machine.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about in regards to that, because he's just constantly going to be on the overlap, which allows Cunha to either play him the ball, isolate whoever he's facing, or play a pass inside to the striker or the other 10 or whoever. So he fits it. I really like him. Agility, balance. And like I said, some directness, but direct with a purpose, not Garnacho directness. Actually dribble past someone, which is where I'm at. Because I've seen some stats and it was saying, shout out to Sheik showing me the stats, like Garnacho was bottom for that. He was lowest. He was last ranked in terms of attackers of going past his player. So Cunha changed tenfold.
Cunha's quick, yeah, but he's also physically strong and he's technical. I think he fits the profile of what we need, and he can play in the right 10 and the left 10. I think he can play in both of them. I think he's a very good player for what we need. Yeah, I think he is. Obviously, the price. Is he worth that? Maybe in this market, bro. I don't love the price. Do you know what I mean? I don't love 60 odd million for him. I don't love that. However, I think it's more of a 45 million player personally. But I think in this current market, yeah, you kind of just have to. You just kind of have to accept it. Yeah.
And the reason why I'm thinking about it here, when you look at all the top teams in, so the big six, who does he not go in and start for and instantly improve? That's what you're playing for. For us, without doubt, he definitely does. City have fallen off a cliff. He definitely starts for them. Liverpool, even though they're about to win the league, he starts for them. Arsenal, he's better than whoever they have over on the left-hand side. Spurs, what's understood ain't got to be spoken about. We've seen all the criticism Chelsea's attackers are holding. That's it. So if we're talking about a player who is not only Prem proven, starts for all the rivals and improves all of them, go get him. Go get him. Maybe at Newcastle, you're looking at it and go, all right, he might not start ahead of Gordon. But other than that, I look at it around it. He even as good as Villa have been. Imagine you put him in Villa's side alongside Watkins and Rodgers.
Oh, he's a Villa style player in a sense. The freedom he'll get at Aston Villa, he ain't getting that freedom at Man United. And
that's my point.
Them man paid 60 million for Pedro Neto, Chelsea, and he looks rubbish.
Yeah, there we go then. And Cunha, I think is a better version of a Neto, because he's going to give you more output, because Neto gives you the directors and the directness and the dribbling ability, but like you said, the strength, that raw power that you need. And he is more, I would prefer 50, but we are not dealing from a negotiator.
Physicality definitely favors Cunha on that side.
Yeah, like he's 50 years. Like I'm looking at, think about it. Villa, you mentioned, if he goes there, how much does he improve them? It's probably just Newcastle. Brighton, what does he do there? Like all the teams at Bournemouth, for example. Imagine him on one wing and Semenyo on the other. You know what I'm saying? Or even him in the 10 for a Bournemouth, for example.
But this is why I like the idea of Semenyo, because he gives that that physicality. You know what I'm saying? He gives that. He reminds me of Valencia in that sense. He's proper strong. He ain't getting a ball off that guy.
Powerful.
And I think we need that. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think that we do need that. And I think that the right-hand side is a problem, because that left 10, to be honest, if the manager's not playing Xerxes in the left 10 week in, week out next season, he's got problems. You know what I'm saying? Because he's been the best player that we've seen this season in that left 10. No one's outperformed Xerxes in that left 10. Nobody. Not Bruno, not whoever else has played there. Not many players have actually played in that left 10. Mason Mount, but none of them have outperformed Xerxes.
So we only see Mano there. We only see Mano there like twice.
10. Exactly, but Kobe can't play that left 10 better than Xerxes. He can't. He can't play that left 10 better than Xerxes, bruv. He just can't, innit? Like, he just doesn't have the ability, bruv. Like, it just is what it is, bro. He's not a better footballer. So he just, like, Kobe's not going to do better than what Xerxes does in that left 10. It's impossible. He doesn't have the attributes. So it's one of them things where I can't see a world in which anyone should be replacing Xerxes in that left 10, bro. No one. I think he's done enough to really have cemented his place in the team in that position specifically.
I think so in regards to this season, definitely, because we've barely seen Maino there, and he's the only other player I would put up in that position because he's the only other player I think who plays in the left 10 who has any form of X factor. Like, we know Bruno's limited, Garnacho, the less said, the better. But if we were to sign Cunha, what I like is competition. This is what's required. Whereas if Cunha knows, let's say we do sign Cunha and he's playing and he's not playing well, Xerxes can take his spot. Same way, Xerxes, if he's playing and not playing well, does Cunha, or whoever the right-sided 10 is, you could have him. Big up to Abdi as well for the gifting the 10 memberships. You have Cunha play left 10 and you have Xerxes play right 10, or you have Xerxes left 10 or Cunha right 10. This is what we're talking about. Again, on the wing-back situation, Ahmad will more than likely, I think, play right wing-back, even though we've been linked. But again, options. Like, this is what we want, and options of quality as well, because our attack is lacking desperately. As bad as this team is, our attack lacks all over. So it's like, go and get these players. So I'm a big fan of Cunha. And if, let's say, we start and it's Cunha and Xerxes in the 2-10s, cool. I like Xerxes. He's impressed me in the 10. I'd rather see Xerxes in the 10 than I do the 9 in this system in particular. Because someone said to me, oh, in a 4-3-3, Xerxes, and yeah, in a 4-3-3, Xerxes is a 9 with pace off of him because he can drop in and he can.
Yeah, but in this system, yeah,
it's a 10.
The 9 gets isolated a lot, bruv. Do you know what I mean? And it's like
that's not his game.
The lack of quality in the 10s means that you don't get the best out of him. Because even when he drops in, he's great, but the 10s are not. They're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. I can't lie. The 10s are what's letting down this system. If Xerxes not in the 10, he's been by far the best 10 that we've seen in this system. Whilst the manager, because even Ahmad's better at wing back, bro. In the 10, Ahmad's had some really quiet games, bro. Like, whether people want to admit it or not, like, he struggles in that 10 position in this system, bro. As wing back is when he's been free, blood, to really show his skills, bro. Because like the 1v1 skills and the way he takes players down the outside and stuff like that, he's only really been able to do that as a wing back, bruv, because that's where the space is. In that 10, you don't really get the space to face people up. So,
and especially with the lack of quality around you, you ain't, because he's getting doubled up on, tripled up on when he's played the 10 as well. And obviously he's coming from a winger background, playing as a winger, where you're more used to operating centrally. I just think we see better from an Ahmad, better from a Xerxes. This is going to sound stupid, but once you see better quality around them, because what can you do? These players are foils they're not good for themselves. They're foils for nobody. Hojlund don't help anybody else. He don't do anything to go, all right, at least you might not be the best player, but you're effective. At least if you're not the best as an individual and your individual qualities ain't that good, you are good for the team. You are good for others. Hojlund and Garnacho ain't. Bruno to a lesser extent than those two, but he's not. It's like no one really plays, but like at least you can say, all right, Ahmad helps. Ahmad playing at wing back is going to occupy that fullback. He's a threat, which automatically makes more space for whoever your left wing back is. Or if Cunha's playing as a left-sided 10, automatically Dogu getting more space. Because the fullback more likely to, hey, you know what, let me come across. Cunha's here, for example. And that's with anyone, but it's a distinct lack of quality. Same way with the striker. You mentioned the striker being good in isolation. That's why I want Osimhen. Because I think in isolation, he will destroy this league.
I understand that. But that's why I like Mateta. And that's why also DELAP, another player we've been linked to, in isolation. He holds the ball well. He turns and drives with it well. He links with it well. I think from a technical standpoint, he's one of the best centre forwards that we could get, DELAP.
DELAP's good. My only issue with DELAP is just it being his only season in the Premier League. That is legit what it is, because he's played well at Ipswich. He's got 12 goals. Let's say he gets 2 or 3 more, 14 or 15 goals for a team that has been relegated is good. For me, it's solely on the one season, number 1 and number 2 preference. Like Mateta fits more of the mold of he's done it for a couple of seasons in the Premier League and from buying within. But for me, that would be the order it is if I'm saying Osimhen, Mateta, DELAP as the 3. Obviously, price points is key, because they're saying Osimhen is the release clause is 55.5 million. To me, that's a steal. because I
Yeah,
expected
but
it to be more.
also they're saying this guy wants 180 grand a week after tax, bro. So that means this player wants over 300 bags.
Saying 300, and with that as well, that's when then your negotiation skills have to be smart, and you give him a base, and then you give him incentivized contract for him to potentially earn more than that off of individual. So, for instance, goals, assists, and then team accolades as well. We finish here, you get this. You score X amount of goals, you get this. We reach this stage in Europe. We reach this stage in the FA Cup or League Cup, for example. Incentivize. All right, so let's say, for example, it's 250K base, but you can earn up to 350, 400 if you hit said targets. All right, cool. That's what you have to do. Pray for Madrid, yeah.
I hear that. I hear that. I
on,
just don't know, Flawless, bro. I just
go on. What is it you're not convinced about with Osimhen? What is it? What you can tell about?
About everything, bro, in terms of how much wages he's gonna want as well, bro. Like I don't think he's good enough to warrant more than 200K a week, bro. Like, and he's saying after tax, bro.
That's why, like I said, and I understand that, because I don't think we should be paying anybody 300, 350K, anything in that realm. Incentivize it. You have to be smart with it. And that's not just him. That's with anyone who wants big wages, because if you're going for Osimhen or anyone in around that caliber who are potential needle movers and have been some form of established, you're going to run into that hurdle. That's why you have to be smart. Incentives. All right, here's the base, but you can earn more than 350K. How good are you? If you're as good as you say you are, you're going to hit the targets and make much, much more than the 350K or 40K after tax.
No, so I hear all of that, but this is why Mateta, exactly. Mateta makes the most sense for me, because he can't be on more than like 50K Mateta. He can't be on more than like he can't be on more than like 50 bags, yeah. He's a proven Premier League goal scorer. You know what I'm saying? He's a bit older as well. There's no adaptation period.
True.
Like, bro, it's just, brother, it's a no-brainer. Even if he's gonna cost,
what's the price?
He's gonna be cheaper than him as well. He's gonna cost less to buy. He's gonna be on less salary. I reckon we get Mateta for like 35 to 40 mil.
Is that what it's saying?
I don't think.
No fee.
Huh?
I've heard no fee in regards to Mateta, like rumored transfer fees.
Yeah, I've heard no rumored transfer fee, but I think he's got a couple years left on his deal. So someone in the chat will know. But I think he's got a couple years left at the end of the season. So I reckon 35, 40 mil does it.
Let me see. It's our contract. Let me check this out. Just saying it. Sign off. So he signed a 5-year deal. Oh, he's got quite a little bit left still. They're saying,
how long has he got left? When did he sign the deal?
So Mateta signed a 5-year contract the day with Crystal Palace, including average. This don't actually say. 1 second. Let me try to pull it up. Hold up. 2026, 2 years.
So he's got 2 years left.
I'll tell a lie. 2027. Crystal Palace have triggered the option in Mateta's contract to extend his stay at the club until 2027. So
there you go. So 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, so at the end of the season, he'll have a couple years left. I reckon about 35, 40 mil does it, mate. Do you know what I'm saying? Because he's what? I think he's 27. He's going to be 28 this year, bro. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, bro. I reckon that's a 35 to 40 million, bro. That's not bad at all, bro. And then when you look at it, you're getting a player that's at the right kind of age. He knows who he is. Like, there's none of this, like, trying to work out what kind of player he is and that. He knows who he is now. Do you know what I mean? At 27, 28, you know who you are. Like, that's proper, like, that's senior pro. That's like, you're getting into that senior pro territory now. So, someone like him, he's going to cost less than Osimhen. And he's guaranteed to give us what he's guaranteed to give us. And he plays in the same system at Crystal Palace as well. So, like, there's a lot of positives to going for Mateta ahead of Osimhen, bro. Like, I would obviously take DELAP. Stylistically, I like DELAP. He's my kind of player. He's technical. He's got a bit of grit about him. There's loads of things about DELAP that I like. But if we went in for DELAP, I'm taking Mateta instead of Osimhen, bro. I think Osimhen comes with too many question marks, bro. And I don't want many question mark signings this summer, bro, because I think there's a real opportunity for us to close a serious amount of space in the league if we recruit properly, because this league's in fucking it's a shambles right now.
Oh yeah, the league's terrible in regards to quality and quality. Like we see it. Look at City and Chelsea. They're two teams who went on absolutely awful runs and are still in and around the top 4/5. And one or both of them will probably finish in the Champions League spots. With Osimhen, it's like, look at it. And again, it's a preference thing stylistically. He's just electric. You're electric and also more proven and more established. Not against Mateta, because I'm all for buying from within. This is why I like the Cunha signing. This is why I would like a Semenyo at Dublin, for example. But with Osimhen in isolation and the way the system plays as well, and his ability to run away from players, I'm all for that. And it's again, I thought he was going to be much more initially. It wasn't until this price point came out and I was like, what, 55.5 million? Because I thought he was going to be minimum 70. And that's where my issue lies. Because with most players, price point is my biggest concern. Same way with Mattel. If we were to get Mattel for 30 million, I'm not with it. Yeah, Mattel is literally Osimhen at home. Run me the Osimhen out, man. But if we were to get Mattel, cool. But yeah, my preference is Osimhen at that price point, 110%. Like I said, in isolation with all the space in a poor league, I think he scores plenty of goals here. I think he treats it like he did Serie A, to be honest, in regards to his goal return.
I hear that. Man said Mateta isn't anything that Osimhen physically. Osimhen's explosive. No, Mateta is more of an absolute tank, blood. You know what I'm saying? That can hold the ball, shoot with both feet, do all of these things. So yeah, man don't really care about Osimhen. You can say that Osimhen's explosive and all that, but man don't care about all that. Do you know what I mean? That's not important to me. Like, strength is strength, bro. And we've seen that Mateta's got the physical strength, to play in this league, and also he's technically a better footballer than Osimhen. Cool, Osimhen can jump high, bruv. Don't give a shit about all that. Do you know what I mean?
That's where I'm at with the difference in preferences, the explosiveness. And that's why I'm tired of watching this team just be one-paced. And Mateta is very good, like you mentioned, at holding the ball up, and he can mix it with the center backs. And these are for others, but run me someone spinning in, and don't get mistaken, Mateta can shift. But run me that explosive pace, like to spin, like whoa, man. Like with him, like the thought of him and Cunha together, I love. I'm not gonna lie, man. Those two together, and then you throw in Ahmad or a Mano or a Xerxes with that.
I think Ahmad's got to be wing back. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think
Ahmad Xerxes at wing backs. Ahmad Dogu at wing backs, and then you add in a Osimhen and a Cunha to that. I'd be like,
I hear it. Teams off. I hear all of that, bro. I do. I actually do hear it, man. But I don't know. Man is saying that he don't come with a lot of question marks. For me, he comes with a lot of question marks. There's always question marks. Osimhen, there's always question marks around players when they haven't played in the Prem. I don't care. Like, there's always question marks.
Can you do it in the Prem?
Yeah, but it's not just can you do it in the Premier League, like how good are you in comparison to what is needed to be successful here? Because, bro, like, what's needed to be successful in the Premier League is so different, to everywhere else in the world, that it almost does not matter, like, how good you are at football, if that makes sense. Like, this is what a lot of people don't get, bro, because it's like, when I look at Osimhen, he's very much, like, he's a pace and power, he's a physicality guy.
Yes.
When you're playing in leagues that aren't as physical as the Premier League, your physicality is a superpower. When you're playing in the Premier League, where everyone has to have a certain level of physicality, once that is kind of taken away from you, what's left? That's what I want to know. Like, what's actually left, bro? Because it's like the last was it the last AFCON tournament? He was fucking awful, bro. Yeah, do you know what I'm saying? He was fucking awful, blood. And that was in a tournament that man are telling me isn't a high level. I'm not saying this because I don't necessarily believe that. But what I'm saying is,
because we've seen better players than him struggle in AFCON. We've seen Salah struggle at
100%. But what I'm saying is, when P&P is your thing, and then you come up against P&P all the time, what's left? Do you understand what I'm saying? What's left?
I can understand that as a question mark. With his P&P, I think his P&P can out P&P it here. I think he can do. I think his physical attributes are enough to bypass that. I think I look at some of the players who have scored goals here and scoring goals here, I go, surely you can. Like, for instance, DELAP, even though it's different, he's got 12 league goals here. So I'm looking at
but DELAP is, for me, DELAP's a much better footballer, bro.
Yeah, he's a technically better. Yes, he's technically better. But I think his game, the fact that just being a willing runner and constantly doing that and being on the shoulder, and you're just your willingness. Like I said, being a willing runner, having pace and power like you do, and being explosive, because there's a difference between quick and explosive, which he is. I think he'll just score goals. That's what it is, especially with how we're trying to play. You mentioned it already, how our strikers get isolated. I think that suits him down to a T. I really think.
I think it does. I think it suits him in a way where he's more likely to be that striker that's in isolation that can receive the ball, just turn and run. Do you know what I'm saying?
And that's because we're not chasing down a Prem or a Champs where it needs to be a little bit more complex and a little bit more thought. That's how I'm looking at it. That's why when I'm talking, because people act like getting up to top 8, top 6, top 4 is tough. No, we've seen teams with look at Arsenal. Arsenal became a top 4 side with Ramsdale in goal. We all know Ramsdale's limit, even though he's a goalkeeper. He's limited as a goalkeeper, but he was good enough to help him get to that level. I'm talking about going up a few levels. Do I think Osimhen is good enough for that level? Yes. If we're talking about him in the Premier League or Champions League, that's a whole different conversation, because I think you need more. I think you need more. Well, it's been proven you need much more when you're trying to go and get more. You're trying to go and win the bigger competitions. But for now, we're not. We're talking domestic cups, top 6. I think Osimhen fits that for that price at 50 million. If he was 80 or 90, I'd be like, nah, swerve that. But 55, but what you've done previously. I was saying it's a bit like Lukaku with more pace, and we've seen what, like, obviously Lukaku then eventually.
I think Lukaku's a better footballer, bro. I think you're doing Lukaku a disservice, bro. Do you know what I'm saying when you're saying that he's like a quick like Lukaku? I think Lukaku's a better footballer. Like, I genuinely, and I don't even like the thing is with Lukaku, Lukaku's got a good football understanding, he just has a shit touch, you know them ones. But Lukaku's movement in and around the box is actually good. Like,
I've seen what he did here, even though he's kind of fallen off now. We've seen what we seen what he did at Everton, for example. But I think Osimhen's capable of coming in and doing that, yes, and having that level of impact. We've seen what he did when he came to Manchester United. Obviously, not so much the second season. We've seen these things. But of course, in regards to creating it, that's why I keep mentioning Cunha. It's not one or the other. We can't just sign attacking players but not sort out the rest of the team. Same way we can't sort out midfield and the wing back, for example, and not sign rest. We need players across the board, people. We just happen to be talking about Osimhen and Cunha and DELAP because that's who we've been linked to. But do not ever get it misunderstood that I think we need 2 central midfielders. I keep saying this without question. Need 2 starters to go in there and play. Profiles.
Definitely. But next season, Bruno's going to be starting somewhere because this manager's obsessed with him, and also, so it's somebody to replace Ugarte. Do you know what I mean? In the starting lineup, whoever that is going to be, it should have been a Sander Berg kind of person, and Sander Berg kind of profile, but there doesn't seem to be those kind of profiles out there.
And this is where the board need to go and be like, all right, this is that profile. Whether it's someone who's a dictator of play who gets on the ball, or you have someone who's more of a ball carrier and press resistant, and not by passing, but they'll carry it. They'll do the Belieber thing, where they'll spin a man, or they'll do the De Jong type thing, where they'll spin a player like a Gravenberch and then carry the ball up, and then the passing doesn't have to be of the same level because you've carried the ball 5-10 yards rather than passing it 15-20. You're now passing it 10-5 and we're on the attack. But like that's what it is with me.
I hear it. I said Osimhen's an overrated player and he's not my preferred choice. However, if he's the only alternative to get rid of Hojlund, it's fine by him, but there are better options. Bro, that's the thing. That's why we've been getting linked with DELAP, and I think Hojlund leaves permanently or on loan in the summer. I can't see him surviving, bro, because he doesn't go and end up being second choice striker with the number 9 shirt. I believe he goes out on loan and that number 9 goes to someone else.
Cool. That's all being gone. Definitely.
I think he goes out on loan and that 9 goes to DELAP or Osimhen, whoever decides to come into the club. I can't see him staying on the bench with the number 9 shirt and being second choice. I just can't see it, bro. I think he's cooked, bro. Like, it's damning right now. I think he's got 3 Premier League goals this season. And the worst thing is he hasn't even looked like scoring.
Because he doesn't. We talk about, when I was talking about Osimhen there, about being a willing runner. That's something Hojlund ain't.
Yeah, bro. Listen, no one talks about how lazy this brother is, because everyone used to talk about Rashford's body language and how Rashford don't press. Listen, that Rasmus Hojlund, yeah, brother, this bread does not run, fam.
He does not run. He used to, and you know what that is? His confidence is in the bin because he hasn't scored for so long. Like we used to complain about him wrestling with centre backs, him making bad runs. It's now come to a point where you don't make the runs. You're not even trying to get into situations. What was the game? Was it the Ipswich game? It was Ipswich this season when the ball got squared to him in the box and he dummied it and no one was over him.
Yeah, that was mental.
Yeah. He's scared to. There was no one behind you. There was no shout. He's scared to miss. That's where I put it on the manager to see. You can see this man has zero confidence. Like, it's one thing being a bad player and you're confident, but you have a limited ability. You're very, very poor, and your confidence is good, and you're not being helped with the players around you. Like, one thing about Garnacho is he gonna shoot. Garnacho gonna shoot. Like, without doubt, terrible player. Don't get that misunderstood, but he has the confidence to shoot. Hojlund don't shoot. I think, what is it? 1 shot on target in the last 4 games.
Yeah. That's why they were saying Harry Maguire had a higher XG than him from his cameo. This bro don't shoot. He don't get in positions to shoot. He's awful, bro.
Well, and I bet in them last 4 games, how many shots has he had? Probably not even 10.
Yeah.
Probably not even 10 shots. So you're not even giving yourself the opportunity to miss. A lot of averages. You can shoot and it's a poor shot. Keep a mistake. It deflects and goes in. Rebound. You're not even trying to do the Ben Simmons thing. When Ben Simmons refused to shoot. I remember that. Never forget that. Under the rim, 7 foot plus and refused to shoot. Confidence. Key in football. 100%. We all know that. You've said it many a times, as have I, how much mental attributes matter in football. And the manager is not helping him. And forget technical attributes, forget physical attributes. You can have both of those things and be maxed out. But if mentally you don't have it, you're finished. Finished. 1 shot on target in 4 games.
Yeah.
You know, all right. Okay. All right.
No, I hear it. You know what I mean? Man said how's Osimhen overrated. He scored goals everywhere. I don't know who said he was overrated. Maybe someone in the chat, but
someone in the chat said
what do you mean everywhere he goes? He's in Turkey, blood. Do you know what I'm saying? He's in fucking Turkey, my brother. Do you know what I mean? And he had the season he helped fire Napoli to the title, and in the following season, I swear they fucked him off. That was
I'm looking here. His numbers, so this is in when he was at Lille 1920, 13 and 27. This is in the league. 13 and 27. Then he moved to Napoli, 10 and 24, 14 and 27, 26 and 32, 15 and 25. That was his numbers.
Let's go back again, please.
So 10 goals in 24 appearances. That was
which
his
is
first
calm.
season.
That's just under 1 and 2. That's decent. Yeah. That's very good.
14 and 27. That was 21-22.
So that's about 1 and 2 as well. That's decent. Yeah.
Then he went 20. This is his best season. 26 and 32 in the 22-23 season.
Is that the season league when they won the league? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm doing
26-32. That sounds like a title winning.
Let me have a look. But I think it was, because that's the season he was on smoke, and everyone thought he was going to do better in the Champions League, and they ended up going out. But when him and Kvaratskhelia, 22-23, they won the league.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, that's the title winning. Yeah. Okay.
What's the last season? 15 and 25.
See, those are good, but they're not amazing. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
But if he brings that over here, I'm cool. They're good numbers over here. I think
they're good, bruv. They're good numbers, but they're not fucking my days. Like, they're not. Do you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, brother, listen, Osimhen,
26 and 32.
Gyökeres is doing a mad thing, right now, and I'm not even convinced by Gyökeres. Do you know what I'm saying? So, man needs to understand that, bro. Like, I'm consistent. I'm very, very consistent. I think Gyökeres scored his 44th goal in 44 games or something the other day, in all competitions, And I'm still not convinced by this brother.
Yeah, man got 31 and 27. And then before that, 29 and 33 in the Portuguese league.
Do you see what I'm saying, bro? Listen. So, bro, I'm not even trusting this blonde demon, bro. So when man are talking about Gyökeres, I mean, when man are talking about Osimhen, you need to understand that like it has to be all things included, bro. Like one of the seasons was in Liga. A league that you man don't rate, and then we got the La Liga thing. I mean, then we got the Serie A thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, no disrespect to Serie A, bro, because it is what it is, isn't it? It's a weird league, bro. Like I've seen 40-year-olds top score that league, and if you got a bit of pace and power, you're gonna do well.
Oh yeah, that's how you see it with Lukaku.
In Serie A, innit? Like, let's be honest, bro. Like, man, I've seen what Lukaku's done. Do you know what I'm saying? Lukaku been doing in that league, bro. And let's be honest, yeah, man were disrespecting Lukaku as well. Those are good numbers, but they're not all my days numbers. Like,
and that's why I wouldn't pay all my days money, which I don't think 55 million.
The way man are talking about Osimhen's numbers, yeah, they're talking like he's doing what Gyökeres is doing and what Erling was doing. Erling was scoring more goals than games played. You know them ones. That's what Gyökeres was doing.
Gyökeres' numbers is crazy.
So when you're showing me that this brother's a 1-in-2 striker, yeah, it's good, but it's not all my days giving 300 grand a week, bro. For what?
I hear you on that. And that's why I'm not with it.
Brother, that's not bagging 20 goals, 20 league goals a season. That's crazy to me. Them numbers are not crazy, bro.
Well, I hear that.
Like, maybe it's just me, innit? Maybe it's just me because
go on.
It was one of them ones where I do understand that the modern game, yeah, has been tainted by the numbers. Do you know what I mean? It's been tainted in the sense that back in the day, yeah, 15, 20 Premier League goals, yeah, you were seen as like a good Premier League striker. You weren't seen as an alien, but you were seen as a good Premier League striker. Now you're seeing players like Erling and the Gyökeres thing and the Lewandowski and the Harry Kanes, where them man are scoring more goals than they've played games and stuff. That's not normal, okay?
No, them man are aliens. Ronaldo and Messi wrecked the game with that.
Exactly. Normal for a striker is 1-in-2. We always said, yo, if a striker's 1-in-2, good. Decent striker. You know them was like, that's a good record. Now want man to have 40 goals in 40 games. That's not really
that's not normal.
That's not normal, innit? But the way man talk about Osimhen, yeah, they talk about him like he's putting up Erling numbers or he's putting up like Gyökeres numbers. He's not. He's just putting up
good numbers.
Ollie Watkins numbers.
That's why you said, and he's a good striker too.
Bro,
go on, carry on.
What was Ollie Watkins' last 2 Premier League seasons? Tell me the numbers, please.
Yeah, I got you. 1 second. Let me pull this up. Give me a sec. Let's see. Ollie Watkins. Let's see. Last 2 seasons is 13. So you got 13 and 31. This is this current season.
Yeah,
before that 19. Before that 19 and 37. Before that 15 and 37. Before that 11
just 35. Up there 19 and 37, yeah, which is pretty much 1-in-2 in it, like 38. And then the one before that was
15 and 37. This is league so
just underneath 1-in-2. So it's around. And Ollie Watkins, I'm not paying Ollie Watkins 300 grand.
No.
You know what I mean? 19 Premier League goals is solid. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, I hear you.
Brother, 1-in-2 striker. That's what I'm saying. A 1-in-2 striker don't deserve 300 grand a week, bro. Like, not in this climate.
No,
you see what I'm saying?
No, there's no dispute with that. Hence why I said incentivize. You give him a base, incentivize. I wouldn't pay him 300k a week. And you mentioned it, him putting up good numbers. That's why I paid good money for him. Because I think 50 million, 55 million is good money. That's what in the going market, in today's market, 50 to 55 million is what you are going to pay for any player who's deemed good or performed to a good level. Unless
look at this Mateta. 29 goals in 64. That's again just under 1-in-2 for Palace in the last 2 seasons. No one's paying Mateta 300 grand a week. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that. I understand your reservations on the price. I mean, not the price, sorry, the wage packet. And I wouldn't pay him that in wages. Absolutely not. No, I wouldn't.
So to me, he's a 1-in-2 striker, but he don't have a high technical level like a DELAP or a Mateta, and his technical levels beneath these guys, bro. And yes, also Ollie Watkins had bare assists as well. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, when I'm looking at someone like Osimhen and I look at his numbers, they're not wow numbers, like they're just good, like, and I'm not paying 300 grand plus a week because he wants after tax, he wants 180 buff. Like that's crazy. That's nearly 350. Like,
right. And that shouldn't be the case. We would be daft to do that. Incentivize that. Incentivize.
That's what I'm saying.
And that should be the united thing across the board with everybody we bring in. I think even players who are not, whether it's Mateta, whether it's Cunha, everybody should be incentivized. Okay, you want this? All right, now we'll pay you this, but you can make more from this. Perform. Give players some form of incentive to hold themselves to a high standard and also hold their teammates to a high standard as well.
Yes.
All right, we finished top 4, we get this. Okay, we finish top 6. We win a trophy. We win 2 trophies. I get X amount of assists, X amount of goals, etc. Yeah.
Now, people say we need an experienced striker. I don't think we need an experienced striker. I don't think experience makes you a good striker or a bad striker.
No,
I think it's all about competence. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's one of them ones where it depends on what kind of striker the manager wants for the system, and also what's the supply line saying. If we bring in another number 10 here that is going to score goals and create goals, if that's a Cunha, and then our wing backs are doing what they're supposed to do, and we bring in another midfielder that can progress the ball, I think that we're going to create and score more chances. That's what I believe. I don't think it's got to do with necessarily the experience. You know, I don't think it's got anything to do with that. What all I'm saying is, it's not that I'm saying I don't want Osimhen. What I'm trying to articulate is that for the amount of money that he wants, for the amount of money it's going to cost to get him as well, because he'll cost more than DELAP and Mateta. And he's the worst footballer out of the 3 as well in terms of just the fundamental football side. So he might have certain attributes that they don't have, but I'm saying he's going to demand more wages and he's going to cost more money. And I don't think necessarily his output's better than theirs. I don't necessarily think it's better than theirs in the system, bro, because Mateta is showing that he can pretty much equal that 1 and 2 output at Crystal Palace.
Yeah, because after Mateta's done, let me actually pull up Mateta's numbers, because he's done well there. His past 2, it's only the 2 seasons he's been there, and he's done very well in the past of that. Yeah, he's done very well. That's why I'm not against it. Again, let me just it's an incentivized thing in regards.
I'm saying 32 games, 28 goals for fucking Galatasaray, the league that people go to when they're fucking retiring, yeah, and they want to launder some money, blood. So they, you know what I mean?
So he got his glow up was crazy. So he's got 13 and 29 so far this season. In the season before, 16 and 35.
See, and 16 and 35 is just what 16 times 2 is 32. So it's just under 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah, it's 1 and 2, like, 1 and
just under 1 and 2, bro. So like, look at those numbers, cuz.
Well, he has been also and he's doing well. And also with Osimhen, what I like is that you've played at a higher level under more pressure as well. Being in Serie A, being in title races, winning the Scudetto, also playing in Europe as well. That plays a factor with me, and not so much experience, just being involved in that. Because for Mateta, whole new step. Obviously, the jump for Osimhen is going to be a jump, but the jump isn't as big. And that's where I like it, because people overrate. Forget experience, quality. Because guess what, people? Garnacho's experienced. Man's played over 100 matches for Manchester United. He's an experienced player. Just because he's rubbish or just because he's young, I think.
Yeah, facts. That's what I mean. You see when I'm saying experienced striker, bro. It's not about experience.
Forget about experience. Quality. What is the quality of you? Because Garnacho has played, let me repeat that, people, over 100 games for Manchester United. He's an experienced player now. But because he's 21 and he looks young, we just look at him like, oh, yeah, experience, you need help. No, you played more. You played more games at a higher level than some 23, 24-year-olds. Someone who's 2, 3, 4 years older than you type of thing. So, that's where it stands. Well, yeah, with Osimhen, I look at it and go isolation. I think you do so well in this league with the isolation.
Well, I think that he's got all the attributes. However, we don't know until we see it. You know, and I don't know if I'm willing to take the risk, for 300 grand a week and
not 300K
and 50-something million. Do you know what I mean?
Not 300K. Yeah, that's fair. The 50 mil, I don't mind. The 300K is the issue. That's where we have to be smart. That's what
100%. And that's it. Being a 9 for the season is way less of a problem than having guys like Garnacho, Hojlund, Ugarte, Dalot being consistent starters. Facts. This is what it is. When you look at these man, they reduce, bro. They actually bring down the technical floor of this team so much, bro. Garnacho, Hojlund, Ugarte, Dalot, bro. The technical floor of the team, bro, it plummets when them 4 are on the pitch. And at the same time, our last game that we played, all 4 of them started, bro.
Yeah, and they don't even bring you the pace and power like that's needed.
Brother, they give you nothing, bro.
And that's where my issue lies. That's where it is. Oh yeah, TTM, he's done. He's done out. Don't get mistaken about Garnacho. This is why it's so important to sign 2 central. Well, Bruno gonna play, but we still need 2 central midfielders regardless because of the Eriksen leaving. So we gotta replace him. Add in as well, we need another central midfielder to start. So we need 2 starting level because Bruno's probably going to play in one of those roles. Same way with the 2 10s we need because our attack is abysmal. Take Ahmad and Maino out of it and it's a championship attack. Let's be real. Like as a unit. Throw Xerxes in there as well. Like take them out of it, championship level. It's so bad. Like Hojlund, Garnacho, Bruno. Gives you nothing. This man went, like, between them, Garnacho and Hojlund went 0. These men both went 20 plus games without a goal. So that means combined, they went a whole Premier League season plus the start of the next season without a goal. If you're going 40 plus games between you without a goal, what are we talking about? There's championship sides that don't do that. There's sides who have been relegated who don't do that. What are we doing out here? But yeah, in regards to the midfield, it's a key area, people. It depends on what the manager is looking for in that area. Do we get someone who's a dictator, who's trying to play passes through the lines?
I think that has to be the priority, my bro, because that's the one profile that we lack, and we're going to be letting Christian Eriksen move along. Casemiro has already shown, like the game against Man City, that bro, he's still got plenty to offer us. But because of his salary, there's I'd like to think that he stays anyway. Cause I can't lie, he's the only player in the team that deserves what he's making because of what he's done in the game, bro. Like he deserves that money, bro. Like, I'm not gonna look at Casemiro and say that he shouldn't be the highest paid player at Man United. He should be, bro, because he's Casemiro. Like, sometimes man just need to understand he's Casemiro, bro. Like, you just can't argue it. Do you know what I'm saying? He might not be the Casemiro of old, but bro, just based on what he's done in the game, players like him and Varane deserved the money that they got. They deserved it.
And also, the thing is that he performed, in particular, Varane. Like, for all the criticism he received, Varane, when he played, performed well. I can count on one hand the amount of bad games he did. Casemiro, yes, has had more bad games, but he's shown against City. Again, it's a squad game. Uses. You know what I'm saying? Can you still be utilized? Yes. People were acting like Casemiro, like, after that Liverpool game, has been fine. When he's played in Europe, been fine, strolled around in the Europa League, did fine. The City game, when he's played in the league, he's not been bad. He's not always been great, but he's not been bad. So like that's what it is. But we need chat podcasts, add athleticism regardless. But we need a central midfielder. If we go get a dictator, cool. Also get someone who can carry the ball. We need that too in there. Get someone who can receive the ball on the half turn, spin a man, carry. You see what Gravenberch does for Liverpool. That is so vital in it. Belieber does it for Brighton. Caicedo can do it to an extent for Chelsea. You have to have that. Someone who has that. No, don't have to have that, but it helps so much because it alleviates pressure. It stops in a game that's so much high pressing and it's man-to-man pressing or teams press up high up the pitch. That exposes them instantly. You can spin a man and then carry the ball. How much space are you going into? Especially if you're looking for an Osimhen, a Mateta, a Cunha, Semenyo, Ahmad, Dogu. Runners. It's really not that hard. We're talking top 6, top 4 here, people, not Prem and champs. Let's not overcomplicate this.
You're not wrong, bro. You know what I mean? You're not wrong at all. So, I don't know. This comment, bro, listen, Angel Gomez is on a free. United have to... They have to make him a priority signing, bro, because it makes too much sense. It makes too much sense. The Ryan Cherky thing, there was rumors that Man United were interested, but because of the way the managers treated Xerxes, I can't see him being a fan of Ryan Cherky, bro, because nothing about this manager tells me that he likes technical players. I'll be real.
For the more
industrious, players, unless they're saying Unless they're saying it's a club signing and they're just gonna buy him and just the manager has to play him. Like, do you get it? Like, because I can't see a world in which the manager would look at Ryan Cherky and say, I want him for my system when he don't even play Xerxes. Like,
it's not because he isn't gonna go with Cherky and Xerxes as a duo. So but with Angel Gomez, for free, I think we should utilize that market. Not just with him, but I'm saying if players are available for free, go get him.
Because he fits both sides of the 10, and he can play in the double pivot on both sides as well as the 6 or the 8. I think he is a no-brainer. Do you know what I'm saying? And his ball retention is probably his strongest attribute. Like, Angel Gomez don't lose the ball.
Keep the ball, and then with that, so I'm gonna say in Cunha, we've already spoke about him as well. Cherky, I don't know too much about the comment like that. I just hear that he is a very, very good technical baller in his flair, creativity, but I've not watched him like that to know. I really don't. But he seems to, the fact that he's available for cheap and everyone's overlooking him, I look at and go, why? What am I missing? That they were saying, what was it, like 20-30 million he was available for in January?
And but apparently it's not that straightforward. There was stuff coming out saying that he does have a low release clause, but certain things have to be met in order to, in order
It's a
to
release
activate
clause
it.
it's a release clause with some extras. So it's
Yeah,
not
that's
just
what
20
I'm
million.
saying. It's
It's
not
got
just
extras.
that. It's a release clause, but it's with some stipulations. Like, you know them ones. So man don't know what these
Dodgy deal.
stipulations are. Yeah, they're saying it's not a straightforward release clause thing. It might be a release clause, but then there might be some Bandulu agents fees or something. You know the one, you know, like with the Tevez thing. Like where it was like man had like a certain amount you had to pay, but then you had to pay the agent a certain amount and all these things. Like man don't know.
By like 2 clubs, him and Mascherano, weren't they? They were owned by like 2 clubs.
But they're saying it's not a straightforward pay 25 million and you get him. They're saying that there's other things, so it could be a some bookie agent thing, and which might drive the price up. Like we don't really know the ins and outs of the contract. They can't disclose it. But man is saying it's not a straightforward hold 25 mil and he's yours.
Some extras. All right,
That's
some dodgy dealings.
That's what they're saying.
Some dodgy
You know
dealings.
what I'm saying? So because of that, we don't really know. We don't really know why people are staying away from the deal, but I do believe, that he's a top player, bro. You know what I mean? We get to see him like in person anyway in a few days against Manchester United. Let's see what he does. You know what I'm saying? Let's see if he does better than Zubimendi, innit? Because Casemiro still ain't let him out of jail, bro. So
Zubimendi was that was like, and again, it's only one game, but that's the first time I've sat down and watched him properly club football. I was like, is this what the hype is about? Again, it's only one game. Everyone's gonna have a bad game. So it's with that. We'll see. But yeah, with Turkey, we gonna find out. Hopefully he isn't good. Hopefully he's not. His manager wants to play possession-based football with non-technical players. He's cooked.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's weird, isn't it? But like, is it even possession football, guys? That's what I'm saying. Because if you actually look at the way the manager wants to play, it's like if you look at the way his system is, like the way he plays his system is very, very reliant on mobility, because the gaps on the pitch are so big. They're so big. And if we look at Fulham, for instance, Fulham played against Liverpool with our 3-4-2-1 system, but they defended in a 4-4-2 mid-block off the ball. Remember what I said to you guys about this manager's system, You don't need to change the formation, to change the interpretation of the system. And Fulham showed us that, because Fulham played the 3-4-2-1, with Iwobi and someone else in the 10. I don't remember who the second 10 was. I can't remember if it was Andreas or if Andreas was deeper. See if you can check. I don't know if Andreas was in the double pivot or if he was in the 10. I'm not sure, but it was Iwobi and someone else, And when they defended, it morphed into a 4-4-2 mid-block,
So it's Iwobi and Sess. Well, they've got it here. Iwobi, Sessegnon, Pereira.
Okay, it was Sessegnon. Yeah. Okay, cool. So it was Sessegnon. So Sessegnon played. Sessegnon and Iwobi played, and then behind that they had Sanderberg and
Lukic. They were the two.
Okay, so there you go. So you can morph the system, into a 4-4-2 mid-block. We don't need to play man for man. Playing man for man,
and that's something he's changed as well.
Yeah, playing man for man was something that the manager decided to do when he came in. That's it. Like it doesn't have to be that way. When you've got players like Casemiro, players like DELAP and stuff like that, that would definitely benefit more from the defensive lines being close together. Who the fuck told you to be running up the pitch trying to go man for man and leaving gaps? Like, you don't need to do that. Like, you don't need to do that. It makes no sense, bro.
And it's foolish on the manager's part. Yeah,
it's
that's my biggest issue. And that's why when people talk about all the time, oh, should he change his system of formation? I say all the time, I have no issue with the system or the formation. My issue is how it's played and personnel. Because any formation can be attacking, any formation can be defensive. Because people hear 4-4-2, for example, and think, oh, it's attacking. You can play 4-4-2 and be defensive, people. If you have 2 defensive type wingers and 2 defensive midfielders, guess what? You got 2 attacking players out there, even though it's a 4-4-2. Snoke, who everyone runs jokes about under Tony Pulis, they played 4-4-2, people. We didn't see it as attacking. Even though they had Pennant one side and it was Everton the other, and they had 2 out-and-out strikers. There was no 10. There was
And
no
bro,
one
remember,
dropping in and trying to play. Like,
was it Sheffield
go on.
United with Chris Wilder? They were playing a free at the back with wing backs and smoking teams. Remember,
Smoking team, man, that centre backs
Smoking team.
overlapping.
bro,
The centre backs
they were
overlapping, yeah.
smoking team. Bro, that team was dangerous. I think they played a 2 up front though in the 3 with the 5 at the back. I believe they played a 2, but bro, that team there was violent.
So you can
Do you know
do
what
it.
I'm
You
saying?
can be free. You can play free at the back and be attacking. You can play free at
Yeah.
the back or be in there. It's all about how you do it and the personnel. This manager's gone more defensive. That's because of what he's had and he's in survival mode. How does he do once he brings players in? But you should still be doing better. That's what it is. Should still be doing better.
100%. I completely agree. And so I don't know, bro. When I look at this thing, oi, McBurney, bro. Hey, that's serious. Oli McBurney, bro. Listen, this is what I mean. So man need to understand that formations don't inherently make your football attacking or defensive. It's all about the mentality and the way that you interpret these systems. And I believe that the way that Marco Silva interpreted the 3-4-2-1, is exactly how we should be interpreting it, instead of doing this almost Bielsa man for man running. Yeah, that's crazy.
Unless you got the players for it, don't do it. Adapt to what you have. Without have your same principles and say like the principles, yes, remain because you're gonna have some of these players here, but adapt it, which is what you've done in big games. Because against City, it worked. Our attack is just shocking, but from a defensive standpoint, we shut up shop. They ain't create anything. Onana didn't have a save of note to make. We just needed more. If you add Cunha and Osimhen to that, we win that game. We win that game. Is the way it's set up. So it'd be interesting to see who we go for in the summer. I think will let us know that what the idea is with this team as well, and who we also let go. Also, and I think we're gonna see a couple surprise exits from the team. I think we are.
I don't think it's going to be a surprise, but I think that there's a possibility Garnacho and Hojlund both leave.
Oh,
I think Hojlund's more likely to be on loan because I don't think anyone's going to pay the money to buy him, and also we need his shirt number. I think Mason Mount will get another season.
Fuck.
When
I say surprise, that's what I'm hoping for. Is the likes of
he'll get another season because the manager likes him.
I know why. Why? You're gonna be injured anyway. You're gonna be injured anyway.
That's it, bro. So it's one of them ones where I think Garnacho's leaving. I think Garnacho is leaving. It's very clear that the manager don't really believe in him, and also Garnacho seems like he needs somebody to play. He needs his ego massaged, didn't it? And the manager's doing the exact opposite. So it's one of them ones. Like, bro, look at the way he sulked when he scored that goal, because man said that the fans was bullying him. Yeah,
the thing is, I say this all the now. Faz wasn't abusive with what he said.
No, he wasn't.
Faz was actually being supportive.
Yeah.
Faz weren't like, you're terrible, you're this, you're that. Faz said, work on your first touch, score more goals. That's encouraging you. He could have easily said, what have you done since you've been here? You're terrible, you're this, you're that. Right? Bullying him. He put it this way, he has way worse in the stadium. He has way worse in the stadium than
but this is the point, bro. But this is the point, though, my bro. He does hear way worse, but the thing is, man's ego is so fragile, bro. And the thing is, the one thing, it's all performative, my bro. Because my thing is, people say that he's mad confident and that, but the thing is, if you're confident, your ego, and your pride, these things are unshakable, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be mad confident, or arrogant and be mad sensitive at the same time. It kind of doesn't make sense, bro. Like, people that have real unshakable belief in themselves, you can't say one thing to rattle these people. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not real confidence, bro. Because people that have real confidence, they almost have like an unbreakable delusion that you tell them their shit and they don't believe it, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? They don't believe it. Like, you can't rattle these guys, bro. Like, you actually can't. Even if they're not good, you still can't rattle them.
It's the delusion.
Yeah, it's delusion.
He plays with a rational confidence because he'll shoot and miss 8 times. Damn right, he gonna shoot the 9th time.
I don't think it's confidence. I just think it's.
Would you think it's bad decision making?
It's unintelligence. You know what I mean? I don't think it's confidence. I think it's just horrible decision making.
First.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Like, this is what it is, bro. Like, this is facts. If you know yourself and you believe that you're him, it don't matter. Like, there's nothing that anyone outside of you can do to disrupt you, bro. Do you know what I mean? If you genuinely believe that you're that guy, bro, because literally the most important conversations in life that you ever have are going to be the ones that you have with yourself.
Facts.
Like, on everyone else. Like, if you believe you're that guy, bro, a million people could tell you you're not, bro. As soon as you start believing that maybe you're not that guy, this is when problems start creeping in. This is when you go 20 goals without a game. Do you get
I think
it?
again that just ties into his quality. But I hear you. I was thinking about that. Some of the most important conversations I have is meetings with myself. Man be having team meetings all the time, yo. Trying to figure out what to do and what direction I'm going in with certain things. But that did show how fragile he was, and the fact that you keep that indoors. The fact that
man scored a goal and his teammates had to hug him and say it's okay, bro. Like, man said, I'm not celebrating. Like we care.
Was it Delo who came out and said no? It was Bruno who came out and said it. Yeah, it was Bruno.
He feels like people don't like him and that.
You gotta keep that indoors, man.
Brother, what? Hey, brother, listen, it's crazy.
You gotta keep that indoors.
He feels like people don't like him. Fam, what? Like,
we just don't. You know what it is? It's not that we don't like you. We just don't rate you as a footballer. It's nothing to do with liking. People say this all the time. We're not here to like you. We're here to see you perform. We're fans. Perform. Guess what? If you win us games and win us trophies, we will love you. Because there's players before you, we still to this day Laura's got from 20 years ago. from beyond 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Players we love. We still love it. Roy Keane to this day, no one can't say nothing. As much as I disagree with him at times as pundits, hey, one of the best captain I've ever seen. Still love him to this day, man.
This is the difference, bro. Like, brother, the thing is, I don't like the politics, of a lot of these Man United legends, but I can't turn around and not respect what they did on the pitch because, bro, it speaks for itself. Do you know what I mean? Like, when a man's a cold baller, even if I don't like anything about you, I'm never gonna shit on the fact that you was a cold baller. I can't, because I've got too much respect for what you done, bro. Man's not gonna turn around and say, "Oh, you weren't that good anyway." It's a lie.
It's honest. Like, I cannot like you for certain and I state that, but when you're a good baller, yes. Like, I was having this discussion. I think we was talking about, what was he talking about? Like Judases and players that you don't like who kind of left your club. And Gabriel ain't to remember when he left, he tried to go Liverpool. As much as I dislike him to go Liverpool, he helped us win trophies. Quality left back. Quality left back. I won't dispute that. Quality left back. So I look at him and I go, yeah, fairs. You know what I'm saying? Like, fairs to him. And that's what that is. We're not here to, like, this ain't no family thing, man. We ain't mom, dad, you know what I'm saying? Uncle, aunt. Like, no. Perform. You're paid to, and you have been performing poorly. You have gone 20 games without a goal.
Facts.
We are 13th. We have failed to win back-to-back games, and it's currently the 8th of April. And you wonder why the fans are on your case. Self-awareness, man. The lack of it is ridiculous.
No, it's 100% fact. So I personally think the whole thing's a facade, mate. I don't think the confidence is there. I think that he's a player that 100% profit. We have to be looking to move him on because for some reason he's actually got decent PR around him, bro. It's the best time to cash in. I think 40 million's enough. 40 million does it.
40 million
and just make sure you slap in a sell on.
Incredible deal for him. I couldn't believe we didn't sell him to Napoli. I couldn't believe he wanted more money from Chelsea. Sell him. Sell him. What are we doing? Look at his numbers. He's bottom tier for, look at the stats, everything. Literally last when it comes to getting past his player.
Yeah, but bro, knowing all that, he still had interest from Napoli and Chelsea. So how come these stats are not showing up on Wyscout, blood? Because, do you know what I mean? When I saw that people were actually trying to sign him, I was so confused.
Hey, word to do. The Bajan Pop says this all the time to Bajan Reds TV. Every pot has a cover, man. As bad as we think players are, as bad as we think, and we can sit here every day from now till the start of the summer window and talk about bad players. There's someone out there and there's coaches out there, managers that go, oh yeah, I think I can get something out of him. As bad as we think Hojlund is, there's interest. Someone go sign Hojlund.
Yeah, someone in Italy would take him, yeah.
As bad as whoever you think the worst, even forget United, whoever you think the worst to everyone in the chat, whoever you think right now is the worst player in the Premier League, guarantee someone gonna buy him. Whoever you think the worst starter is, someone's gonna look at him and go, yeah, I can get a tune out of him, bring him to the football club. Yeah. I don't get it either. It's very strange. I think it's like to look at Garnacho and go, why would you sign him? I couldn't believe it. Napoli and Chelsea, bear in mind, Napoli are in a title race. Napoli are in chasing, and they went Garnacho. Chelsea, as bad as their attackers have been, went Garnacho. After you've watched him go,
and they're challenging for Champions League football, and yeah, it's mad. I can't lie.
Yeah. It's crazy. I don't get it either, fam. I don't get it either. I really don't.
Shit. It's a mental, man. But you lot, let's get these lights up, man. 500 target, bro. We're just closing in on 300, bro. We're behind, man. Get those up. What you got coming up for the rest of the day, Flawless, man? You lot make sure you subscribe to Sarcasm City TV. The link is in the title, and there he's only 300 or less than 300 away from 15k, bro. So man,
it's like
another milestone. Come on,
G.
man.
Trying to get there. So first and foremost, big up for having me, and as always, Rants, much appreciated for real. Shout out to the chat each and every time. Sarcasm City TV, like Rants just mentioned on the YouTube. Got the United Arsenal show tonight, obviously 11 p.m. So I'll be with the Arsenal lot after the Arsenal Real Madrid game. So hopefully Arsenal get packed up. So that'd be 11 p.m. UK time as well. And then get over to the playback because the NBA season's coming to a close as well. So I'm doing, is it Thunder Lakers? Yeah, Lakers Thunder tonight and Suns Warriors tonight over on the playback as well. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Rants mentioned it. Under 250 away now from 15k. So when it hit that milestone and get over to the playback road to 1.5. Big up TTM as well, man. Big up to everyone.
Man. And big up everyone. That's Clips channel. Like we hit 9k, closing in on 10k.
Shit, did you? Hey.
Yeah, closing in on 10k on the Clips channel, guys. And yeah, just 4 months, man. So appreciate you lot. You know, I mean, that's solid growth. That's like just over a couple thousand a month. Do you know what I mean? So that's good going. I can't lie, man. So appreciate all of you lot supporting that. Soon hit 10k. And yeah, we'll definitely be back for Arsenal Real Madrid in like 25 minutes, people. So yeah, I'm gonna redirect over to that stream there. And yeah, man, listen, solid show again. Big up everyone supporting the shows and the channels. Make sure you support Flawless's channel as well, man. 15k pended. And yeah, guys, I'll see you guys back here in about 25 minutes.